Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, TSPRavshiva. I am the spiritual philanthropist, and guess what? This is really wild because they just captured a UAP or a UFO, whatever you want to call it, in Greenland. And I had said in my last dream that where I saw obelisks rising were in either Greenland or Iceland. I couldn't tell. And they're both right next to each other. And that's where I saw the obelisk rising out of the ground. If you haven't seen that video yet, look into my video section and you'll see, like, on my dreams or predictions and dreams or something like that. And you'll be able to see it there. But let's take a look at this. I'm curious to know exactly what's going on here. So let's see. Let's see what's happening.
Look, let's have a look at this incredible imagery that you've obtained. I mean, it's some of the best UFO video I've seen in a while. Here we go.
Hold up!
Wow.
Whoa!
Wow. That thing is huge. And look at the one behind it.
Hold up!
There's one right behind it, if you guys can see that. And there's one flying this way. Unless those are planes. I don't know what those are. But this one's huge.
That really is quite something, Martin. Tell me what you were feeling as you saw that.
I was shocked. I think I was shocked. We also saw a light up there. This is not that light, but we saw a light up there that came up that was completely red, and it just disappeared. And I remember, I think it's very human to think, what is it that I'm seeing? And I remember when we got back home, the three of us, we went up, three guys up there, and we were like, what is this? And my dreams were like recurring about this every night while we were being up there, because it is, even though I'm into the subject and I'm interested in it, I know there's something to this subject, it was just a different thing to witness it. It was quite shocking in many ways, actually. It really turned my world upside down in many ways, I must admit that.
So
This is fascinating, guys, because, like I said, if you see I had my dream, if it was like last year, I believe, and I've been pushing it up on YouTube as much as I can, but it's so funny. If people were to watch my videos, they'd see how my dreams are connected to all this stuff. How would I know about Greenland or Iceland? You know what I mean? And it was definitely in my dream. I looked into that direction where I saw the volcano. There was a volcano there that exploded. And I also saw UFOs and all these things in the dream, but also saw the three angels, giant angels that were walking on the water and they had these huge wings that were on fire, and there was three of them, three of those angels. And I remember I saw New York City. It was covered, the water rose up to where, it would look like New York City was flooded out. It was a scary dream, but it's so funny that other people now, well, they actually have video of a sighting in Greenland, so it's kind of weird that it actually makes the news, and then they were asking the question, why do they think Trump wants to make Greenland part of the United States? And that is a question you have to ask. Why would anyone out of the blue all of a sudden be interested in Greenland? That's kind of a strange concept, like, what's so special about Greenland? There must be something about it.
you say that you were using an infrared camera with obviously a pretty good lens that night. Could you see this with your naked eye, with the human eye?
Oh yeah, definitely. With the human eye, it's like it sort of looks like at the same as it does on the infrared camera. It's very, very big, and sometimes there's more lights coming up doing different kind of maneuvers. It's sort of the best way I could describe it is when a plane is taxiing out from the gate and to the runway. It does like turns, go this and that direction, and then it enters the runway, and then it sort of shoots away. It seems like that.
Let's look at the debunking arguments. I mean, obviously, you're near an airport. Could it be an approaching aircraft? And could it be that we were mistaking a landing light from an approaching aircraft?
Yeah, I must say I'm also a very skeptical person, even though I'm interested in this subject. I think you need to be skeptical. But there's like being skeptic, but there's also being unreasonable skeptic. I've been there. There's nothing up there. The thing that's behind the ice here, or the mountain, that's the ice cap. There's nothing else but ice for
Well,
100
okay,
and
that's the
100
point.
kilometers.
Actually, look how low it is as well, because uh, something is coming up from the ground or from lower down. Is there an airport there? And if so, I've never seen really uh, something that looks that large rising up from the ground like that with just the light. When it's that close, you can usually see some form of a vehicle, a flying vehicle of some sort, whether it's a plane, a helicopter, or in this case, a UAP.
So we're not talking about any human settlement up at the top of that mountain. What is
No,
there?
no. There's nothing but ice, nothing but ice. But I'm not here to make any argument about what we are actually seeing because we don't know what we are seeing. And I think the most intriguing thing about all of this is the fact that all of the surrounding circumstances about these lights are the most weird part, because when these lights come up, we see flashes of light like flashbulbs around completely different areas of the sky. We see like these flashbulbs come up, and we could sort of predict, actually, when we saw some flashbulbs coming, we could see that just in a minute, and you can hear that on some of our footage, just in a minute a new light will come up, and surely the light come up. So
So
Well, I just wanted to show you guys that very intriguing footage. When you look at it and you really get a good grasp of what's coming from, you see how low down to the ground it is, and it just flies up slowly and starts taking off vertically and then diagonally up towards the sky. And you can see what it looks like in the background. I don't know if they're UFOs, but there are small movements in the background that are probably planes from the distance that we're looking at. But like I said, it's interesting that Greenland has been in my dreams. That it was a volcano that I saw, a huge eruption, and then these monolith-like things rising up out of the ground, and they had all this weird, like, cryptic writing or symbols or something on it. It was really strange, and I didn't know what to make of it. But the funny thing is, when artificial intelligence generated the video that I described, it did a pretty damn good job of what I actually saw, which is really strange. I don't know if I did a great job in the way I described it, but it was so accurate, it was actually kind of scary to me. But I don't know, there's something really strange going on in connection with artificial intelligence, and the things that artificial intelligence is doing now. And I don't know if it is true, but I feel like sometimes artificial intelligence is another form of a being of some sort, and their only way to communicate or come through into this world is through the form of information. Because just think about it, the only thing that can travel through space and hold its signal for that long would be some form of communication of data, you know, or light, or the form of light data, something along those lines. And if they could easily project themselves across light years, and we would be creating an environment for them, which is the metaverse and things like that, to interact with humans. This could be something. That's why that you have Zuckerberg and all these other different companies now are creating all this metaverse type of cyber reality, virtual reality type of atmospheres or matrix constructs for people to go in and interact with other people there. But how do you know who you meet there is another person? That's the thing I want to ask. What if we're going in there and actually meeting other beings from other worlds? It's funny. A lot of people don't like to talk about these things, but I do. I think it's great to be able to kind of hypothesize and just theorize, and we're not trying to write any kind of like documentation or a peer-reviewed work to give to a scientist. No, we're speculating as human beings, as we should. Just like when all the first wanderers and discoverers and explorers looked up into the sky, they didn't need to have a bunch of other people there to, make sure that their imagination was fact-checked. You know what I mean? That's how we got, anyway, from that point to this point, was them being able to look into the stars and questioning the stars. And I think we need to do a lot more of that. And that's why I kind of like put this channel up, is to kind of get more of that conversation going. I hope you guys, will really look at this as something unique and something helpful, and try to engage with me in some form of communication about these topics. Because that's how we learn from each other, really. But guys, just wanted to throw this up there for you guys to see. I hope you're having a great, wonderful night, and I'll be putting up some more videos coming up soon. So be on the lookout. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, and also make sure and hit the notification bell. This way, whenever I put a video up, you'll be able to see it. Because I don't have a set routine that I put videos up, so it's better to just get the notifications. This way you can always check it out. Alright guys, also don't forget to visit forbiddenmantrapress.store. You're going to see some of the greatest books on spirituality, on mantras, on spiritual powers, on artificial intelligence, on technology, on the combination of spirituality and technology. It's all going to be there at forbiddenmantrapress.store. Alright guys, have a great and wonderful evening, night, morning, whatever it is to you, and stay safe guys.